We'll see, though, if they end up committing to that Poppy in the jungler in the support role for the side of HLE. They do have options. And it looks like they're going to go for the Rel for Delight and lock Peanut into that support role. So, you know, I think some interesting decisions here. I think both teams kind of rounded out their compositions well. I think HLE do still have that long range, play the distance option here, but they're still dealing with, like, you know, Chovy on that Taliyah. Gen.G gave themselves that Jhin to help solve some of their range issues. I think both teams fared okay in this, but I think it's still hard to deal with that Taliyah in the mid lane. That Taliyah Xin Zhao is so much strength.
All right, here we go, guys. Game number 1, Gen.G up against Hanwha Life Esports here at the road to MSI. Even alongside of his fantastic team.
One team does need to be a little bit concerned about that.
Ruler gonna burn his cleanse already. Tons of damage going into him, and even the flash forward! Auto gets it done, and Viper and Delight just outplay.
Really nice follow-up there from Viper. Gets the final auto.
Peanut as well gonna be bullied here out of the river. So at least Canyon is able to win this fight for the first Scuttle
He's
Crab.
there. Peanut, again, I talk about those pressure points he's always looking for. Now Ruler flashless. He is in big trouble.
Yeah, Ruler's just dead. There's no way to get out of this one, and they're just trying to keep Duro around as well. They're going to give this kill over to Viper, and now Duro is going to flash away. So they get another kill on a Ruler.
Where Canyon, well, there was when we last looked at it, he was like a few camps ahead. Not anymore, apparently.
Well, it's not old Rel, so not going to be able to take the Dragon away, but they are keeping Canyon around, and they do get his flash. But
just see a rotation over from Zeus, by the way, here as they look to collapse potentially.
yeah, they're kind of up against the wall. That Hex Flash, very confusing. Chovy in a lot of trouble. He will flash out, though, and now it's just Duro who looks to be going down. The question is who gets the kill. It will be Zeka. So
Zeka to hit turrets real quick and take them out. He's left alone with one. Can be a big problem for Gen.G to deal with.
Safe on the Rumble. I say that, and yeah, backing in the bush. He will have to flash away. A lot of needles go in, but I think this is an overcommit here.
Look at all the vision Gen.G have, and still Delight reads the play, comes up here, knows Duro is missing and can now defend, but Chovy.
Can Delight save his top laner? Delight's going to take a ton of damage, but he's still Rel, and he's able to just hop away. Canyon wasn't here. It was kind of like a broken up one of a dive. As meanwhile, Peanut's taking a free turret in the bottom lane.
It's a strength.
We have Duro on the gank here, and they know that he's in the bush. Zeus about to figure this out, and he just flashes over the wall. But that is a Nautilus with his own flash. Does not have depth charge, though. Gonna ult the wave, and it's just a 1v2 here. Do they have enough damage? Yes, they absolutely do. So they have those first item spikes, whereas we do have some for the side of Gen.G, but Ruler's basically not a champion right now. Are they still going to fight for this?
No.
Well, the answer is absolutely not, because, well, they just lost 2 people to the Poppy ult, and yeah, Gen.G going to be looking for it, but again,
TP.
Let's see how this one is going to go, as that is a big flick on a Zeka, who also just throws his ult out somewhat reflexively, and now HLE, they're going to look for Duro, actually, on the left side here. Might be able to get him. The Rumble ult does come down, and he's just trying to zone. But meanwhile, Delight goes in, and they're doing this all without Zeka, who is now looking to TP, and this fight is going to go to Peanut, who does pick up that first Mountain Drake for the side of HLE. As now Zeka's here, and Gen.G are between a rock and a hard place. Zeka is going to get knocked up. They're trying to go in onto this one and get a trade in Canyon with the help of Ruler. And now Gen.G are turning this fight around. They lost the Drake, but at least they got a bunch of kills on the backside.
300 gold deficit after what was such a fantastic start for Hanwha Life. They're still in the lead. They still have a lot of control, but Gen.G feels a lot more playable now.
Yeah, I mean, I said that this game would be huge for HLE to win based on, you know, Gen.G having the blue side and the things they had in the draft panning out. So
defensive turns, but Peanut is going to look for a gank here. Chovy way up in the lane.
Yeah, Chovy thought he was safe. Let's see if he can wall away on time. Looks like the answer's no, as Peanut's on top of him, but Zeus is very far away. Chovy just going to flash out of this one, as now he goes for the wall, but that's a Poppy. You can't get away from the Poppy by using your wall. And Peanut sits him down. Meanwhile, though, Gen.G are going to go for this Otacon. They say, well, you committed heavily to the top side of the map. So who wins this fight?
Look at Viper. Look at Viper. They're getting shredded. If he lands a piercing arrow, it would do so much damage.
Well, let's see what happens on this fight. A lot of damage already coming out here from Zeka, as the smite will be 100% to the side of Gen.G. And now the TP Zeus just dies immediately. And they turn on a Delight as well. A big sweep here from Viper. He's alone. The damage doesn't go through. And it's only Viper that can get this one done. And it looks like Duro will have to be sacrificed once again. But already the Otacon was picked up by Gen.G. And they got a couple of kills on the backside of that one, so not half bad. Yeah, I mean, let's see what happens on this one. We got the Rumble Ultimate this time, but it's just going to go the way of Gen G. HLE not in position to fight on that one. They were not set up, as you were saying they had to be on.
Kind of playing with their food a little bit. This is Gen G. You can't do that against this team or you will lose your lead. As Peanut's going aggressive. Rel showing up here too. Keen in some trouble. TP.
Yeah, TP's coming in. I think with the three of them, they should be able to get this one down. The Gwen can shred a bit more through the Poppy compared to other champs, but eventually you're not going to win a 1v3, and that will be Keen going down. Doesn't even
clear the vision quickly though. Now Hanwha Life don't have that setup we were heralding them for on the Dragon.
Well, they're going to force Peanut to come over. And
they'll be on the flank.
Gen G will be the ones that are in position on an objective.
Wait, they have
Actually,
the wall.
If you like this, the wall does come down, and the damage, it's not quite there at the same time, and now Duro's going to get caught in the front. Gen G kind of scrambling here, taking a bunch of damage. Now Delight going in, looking for the engagement. He gets blown up. But meanwhile, Canyon now, Zeus flashes over the wall. He's going to trade 1-for-1, but Duro is down as he does get taken out here. The chase here onto Keen. Looks like he is just going to TP away, though. So Hanwha Life Esports, they do win the fight. It's a 2-for-2, but you can see the health bar is a bit healthier here for Hanwha. And they also get that TP out of Keen.
I mean, it's a Jin comp. You know, you just don't really have great damage. As Chovy may be caught.
He does have his flash, and he's actually just able to walk it off. But a bit of damage is done, and maybe HLE can set something up on the Dragon.
I think having jungler means you're going to be able to secure that Dragon.
Yeah, and there's a ward on the Baron. It could have been worse for Ruler, so that's, I think, the bigger concern rather than what really happened here.
Well, looking for Peanut, I suppose, and they might just be able to get him. He's caught out as the angle from Chovy locks him in.
Gwen on this Baron.
Look at the Varus.
Close.
Oh. The Varus poke is so deadly around this Baron, though, but Viper did miss that first Q.
It's 5v4. Duro does get pretty low. The equalizer only going to hit Chovy, and they're keeping this Baron least. I think Gen G are in a good spot here. Zeka and Viper trying their best to do the damage, but now even Zeus is taking a ton, as now the engage does come in from Delight, but he goes down immediately, and Canyon's not even looking at the fight. He just wants the objective, as he will get it. And now Ruler alongside of Chovy. So many low health bars, and in goes Canyon. They will look to clean up the fight. Viper is all alone by himself in a 1v3, flashes forward to try to score the win, but he will not be able to, and it's a triple kill to Chovy. Did you see Chovy's items? He's got a Magi's in this game and a death cap. Now Keen, what's going on here? He goes in by himself, and Gen G are like, wait, what was that?
This is a rough time here for Gen G.
Gen G want to go for the fight, actually. They're going to open up as that ult is not going to hit here from Peanut. He's taking a ton of damage. It goes Canyon. Peanut's dead. And that means the fight is easy for Canyon. They get the jungler, and HLE do not commit to the fight, and they get punished for it.
When you look at the gold, when you look at the map control,
Delight?
Gen G's game to lose.
Oh boy, Delight just going to get caught out here, and this has been happening all game. Not to Delight specifically, but to many different players.
Here, no vision on him right now. As the wave comes in, they will see him.
Trying to go for something, but look at the damage that they do to Peanut, and he snipes him from miles away. And Peanut can't even get out of there with his life intact. We talked about the Poppy and the Mountain Soul and everything, but he just looks like a, I don't know. So
Get to see Keen's point of view. And it was the last needle.
It's incredible the amount of damage they have on this Baron. It's going to force them over. Duro trying to hook his way away from this one. The wall comes down. The Poppy ult not going to hit. It's now Delight trying to force the fight here. Duro is pretty low. And actually a decent angle here. Canyon getting pretty low himself. Keen is by himself as well. HLE might have found the one angle to win the fight, but Chovy's still alive. Ruler sniping from very far away. Looks pretty good still for HLE, even though Chovy is chomping them down with huge amounts of damage with this gigantic build. But HLE, they stop the Baron, and maybe now they get the Dragon.
Yep.
And even the Varus, even though he is lethality, can do a decent amount. Now Keen just gonna start attacking Delight, who's taken so much, and he's gone! He's just out of the fight, just like that, as Chovy getting pretty low. Zeus gonna flash on in, but Chovy's got his Zhonya's, and he will be able to survive there. Takes a bit of damage. But right now we've got Delight, who is down. Chovy gets the pick again! You will not stop this man!
And Peanut can look for the steal.
He has flash.
This could be big.
It's 5v3, and it's really just going to come down to Peanut and see if he can get in there. The damage is being done by Keen, though. He's running Viper down, and that's going to zone Peanut away as well, who is being shredded and has to flash the wall. That's going to be Baron over to Gen G. Very nicely handled. See that cannon getting to work on the turret. And now we got a bit of damage into Duro. He is going to hook away. And at least on the life, they're keeping them out of this one for now, but the wall is going to come down, and the Poppy ult knocks away the Xin Zhao. But Peanut, he puts himself in such a bad spot, and Keen will live for now, but he gets poked down by the Rumble and the Azir, so he's out of the fight himself. Duro pretty low.
As Genji did not get that inhibitor.
All right, Jovi, he is just, look at the damage on this Talia, it's insanity. And now Canyon is frontlining for the team. You got a zoning Jin ult at the same time. Nobody's able to follow up on this one. Zeus getting incredibly low, and he will be taken out. Nothing that Viper can do.
On Zeus, Elder spawning in 30. I'm not sure they can end right now.
Canyon, he just walks in.
This could change
straight
things.
Up dies, and now they gotta go for the fight here. Duro, look at a sacrifice for the team, but Canyon goes down, and that might just be a bit too much. But Jovi and Ruler, they are incredibly fed in this game.
I mean, Viper has a huge role to play here in this one now. Because there's no big wave in the main base.
Well, they only got 2 inhibitors. I don't know.
Wait, I think this is fine. So they back away. The Elder's gone. But with 2 super minions, mid and top, they're not really going to be able to...
Jovi's coming in here.
I don't know about this.
So you have to back away.
Yeah, he's just going to get ulted away. Peanut's going to throw
But
him the door.
essentially, the Elder's secured. But
Jovi doesn't have ult. I thought he was going to look for a wall there.
yeah, mid hit 2. That'll go pretty quickly.
Zekka's going in there. He's going to do a ton to Toby, who has to flash. They got the equalizer. They got in. Toby is down. And they've got a cannon minion here too, HLE. How far do you want to push it? They're looking for the inhibitor.
Well, I guess they can't neutralize that.
No, I don't think so. Bit of a greedy play from Toby. He is punished.
All right, Chain's going to go down. Look at the damage from the Azir and the Varus.
Now there's no wave here just yet, but
the
another
Elder.
one's coming. And I don't know, with 45 seconds until Toby respawns, I think Hanwha should be able to end here.
They don't have the same wave clear. They gotta stack up.
They're gonna block it.
They gotta stack up and keep the minions alive, and HLE are gonna do exactly that. We got the Peanut ult, not gonna hit anything. Keen, desperate to try to stop the minions from hitting the base. He will go down, but HLE, they wanna end the game right here. And right now, they get a kill onto Canyon. They get a kill onto the turrets, and HLE are gonna make it happen in game 1.
Just beautifully executed, and that was not an easy game to play for either side, but HLE came through strong.
It's really difficult because you have to clear the wave.
Sion is confident into Jace.
Camille is going to be the option here. Can lock down the Ezreal. Could potentially lock down the Rise, but it's really awkward, I feel like, for Hanwha Life Esports, because in terms of engage, they have Jarvan, they have Camille, kind of, right? But it's a very mobile composition. You can realm warp to outpace it. And the Sion is so tanky that it's hard to access the targets you want as Hanwha Life. And the Karma feels so strong here because both it wins you the lane. And yes, there's not a traditional engage here for Genji, but you have Pillars, you have Sion. And with the comp of Hanwha Life, you have to engage, so the Karma can just play it defensively. You don't need a support to fish for engages, fish for angles, fish for picks, because they're coming at you. Their comp has to by default, so the Karma doesn't feel like it's a detriment, whereas sometimes you pick the Karma, you win the lane, but you feel like you're really missing that engage. With this draft for Genji, I don't feel like that's really the case.
Very curious to see how this game number 2 is going to pan out, especially with how exciting and crazy game 1 was. Let's hop into the rift for game number 2.
I'm going to hold my thought on Preds because we have a kind of a cool setup here for Hanwha Life. We're looking to collapse, actually.
Yep. Talk about getting early leads. I mean, Jovi's in a really rough spot. Nowhere for him to go. He just stands still and accepts it. Gives the first blood. And now Ruler's going to be handshook. He has to flash end barrier on Ezreal.
Completely changes the dynamic.
He's now just sitting on 4 camps as the Trundle going to pick up his 5th.
Still feeling pretty good here for Keen. As Hanwha Life look to secure this first dragon.
Yep, still no flash on Ruler. Looks like they do want to try to fight this, funnily enough. They're going to get a TP here out of the Ahri. There's the handshake, though, on a Duro, who is desperately trying to run away. Peanut, not level 6. And they're just going to let him get out of there. Duro doesn't even have to flash. But first dragon does go over to HLE.
Zekka has Malignant, which is such a huge spike, so it could be a bit precarious if they do opt to contest this.
Zekka, the flash forward, the engaged Renata might just get the job done. The aggression out of the side of HLE is perfect. As now Jovi on the edge of this realm warp, he does get away. And they still have the dragon leased. This is going to be another dragon and a kill that goes over to HLE. A lot of item spikes hit for the side of Viper, or rather HLE as well. And now Keen has to flash out already as the sticks were in him from the Callista. Now trying to deal with Zeus, but that is a Camille who should be able to get away Canyon needs to hit the smite or he's in a lot of trouble. Peanut going in, going out, and it's just going to be a straight up flip. It goes to the Rise on the side of Genji, but now the fight is looking fantastic here for HLE. Zeus goes in, and he gets out just barely. They're trying to turn here on the Ruler, who's all by himself. Duro super low on the left side, and will be taken out, and the extensiveness of this Kalista to play in these long fights will be huge. At least Toby got the 1 kill, and Genji did get the kill on the Dragon. So it allows them to win that, but now HLE take a big fight.
And this means that
Toby
Snowball
doesn't have his flash. He's in a bit of trouble here. Zeus and Peanuts should be able to take him down, you'd imagine. The Flag Drag is going to miss. Toby, they don't have the CC to take him out, and he gets away! They used the Flag Drag so early. Yeah, they're just going to start it up. And there's no Dragon to really trade for. That's really what's going to happen on this map is they have the damage with Ezreal Rise. They've hit their spikes, both the Ezreal and the Rise. So they have the damage to chunk down this one. Even the Rift Herald going to go top, so HLE, big onus on them to answer the call. Peanut goes in, and look at this! The Karma's already dead! As they commit to it, the resistances are up. Look at Zeka! He's dead at the same time, and it's just gonna be a flip here for the objective. Down goes Canyon, and it's a flip no more. Zeus 1v1ing Chovy, as he will have to realm morph out, but it goes over to the Jarvan, and HLE are taking everything. It's a triple kill on the backside of this fight for the Kalista, who has everything going for her. They're better grouped, but again, Zeus has got an angle. I mean, there's a lot of angles that HLE are coming in from. And Peanut's on the Dragon. They're looking for Toby in the front line. He's pretty tanky, but at the same time, oh, that's going to be Peanut getting pretty low, but they already do take out Toby, and Peanut will take that trade every day of the week. And now this Kalista is just chomping through them once again. Double kill comes in, and the chase potential here from HLE is huge. Zeus once more. He's going to hold on top of Ruler, who does a bunch of damage and immediately dies. It is a second triple kill for Viper in this fight. In this game, Duro barely gets away, but HLE are taking everything on this map. Viper is the guy in these big series that can really put the hurt into, especially when you disrespect them in the draft, as you were talking about, Ox. And Wolf, as now Viper is going to get straight up ulted by a Scion. Not the best positioning, but nobody else is really able to join the fight here. They're trying to turn on to Zeka, but he is Ahri, and they don't really have the extension to do so. Zeka does get away, but Zeus, okay, Zeka will actually go down. Now Zeus gets tarped here, and all of a sudden, on the life, they're just going to get caught out in the mid lane. Now there's no... Well, actually, there's a Baron coming up in 15 seconds. Pillar not treating Peanut very well here at the same time. Will Genji consider a 25-minute Baron to try to come back in this game? I do wonder.
I think this is a secure, pretty easy.
They gotta deal with Peanut. Yeah, he's just going to be zoned away. Nicely done by Genji here.
Like, you know, we saw Keen go in solo, and he's not able to kill Viper. He bought a lot of time.
Doing it again. As Keen, I think you overstepped quite a bit on this one. They are going to get the turret, but now we got a charm here on a Ruler who has to get Mikhail's. And yeah, he's going to get away for now, but now Zeus is going in, and the chase potential of this comp here from HLE is huge. The charm goes in, catches Toby, and that might not be enough for him to get away. Canyon being handshook once again, and the struggle is doing nothing in this game. It's 3 more kills to the side of HLE. And Viper still has not died.
I mean, that's basically your Baron all washed away. Infernal Soul, and they have so much control. Keen TP's in.
Chovy in a lot of trouble here. 4 seconds until the Hextech ultimatum, and Peanut's going to keep him around in time. And now Chovy's got a shield, and a Zhonya's might be enough. But here comes the Ahri, and Chovy's going to go down, and that is a massive pick before it even begins. It's Canyon! He's running straight at the Kalista. Viper is a menace right now on this pick as Zeka goes in, hits another charm, and there's nothing that Genji can do. Tons of damage does go into the Scion. It looks like he might barely get away. As now Ruler trying to bring this one back, but the light is over the wall. He is going to miss the handshake, but they just have way too many tools, as we have said so many times. And HLE, they take the fight, and they will be getting this Infernal Soul.
Turning our eyes towards Baron here. As you can see, Genji nothing. They can't see anything. So you have to be incredibly cautious, and I think when we toggle the vision, it's gone.
The objective is gone. We talked about the Baron damage. It's gone. Canyon, either he flashes in and dies. He is going to get, he can't get it. There's just no way. And they don't even bother turning onto him because they know they can do it later. As, okay, big slam. That is going to force the follow-up there with the Fate's Call, but now they get into the backline of Ruler, nowhere for him to go! And HLE take their wallets and they bash them over the heads with it, as down goes Keen as well. And Viper is legendary in this game. Nobody can handle him. with this many tools on the roster, and also Zeka did 6k damage in that.
This is something else. When we saw these teams match up last few times in best of fives, yes, Hanwha was the victor, but it was a lot closer. The first time they won in LCK Summer, it was a big upset. We were like, okay, Hanwha, a new challenger, a new champion, but this time they just look like they are way more prepared than Gen G.
They're making Gen G look like they are not the ones that were undefeated. HLE look like they are not to be stopped today.
And they make it work. They were able to do it. Viper, 37,000, over 1k DPM on this Kalista pick after having an incredible Varus game just moments before.
They have that flex option available, and Delight's just going to lock in the Leona, which is honestly one of the things with the Nico is you can send your clone out. If you're playing into like a Nautilus or something, you send the clone out, it body blocks the dredge line. That doesn't work on Leona, so it's actually as far as matchups go, it's a scarier one, especially with the Corki, with his Gatling gun proccing the passive so quickly.
They got to do it right here, right now. Let's hop on the rip for game number 3.
But they were good at adjusting and problem solving, and I think Gen G often
I think it has to be said, okay, hold up, bottom dive potential here. Deal early.
They've got a pretty good angle. Where are they going to go? Looks like they do want to go straight into Ruler, and he just gets blown up immediately. That's first blood given over to Peanut Sejuani, and just like that, it's that simple.
Once again, here from Peanut's perspective, as the engage starts with the aggro pickup here from the Leona, follow-up from the Sejuani is great, the flash is good, and that's just Sejuani walking away. Have that same strong identity as I feel their last comp did with a really strong front line.
Cannon's here. They are going to drop the ult here onto Zeka. He's got his flash. He's going to try to flash over it, but Cannon's still on top of the Silas. And another rock comes through, and Chovy easily cleans that one
I think that was the best start they had despite the level 1. Do
you see Delight and Peanut looking though?
Canyon's like, oh crap, I can't really help you here. Chovy is going to hop away, but he gets slowed by the Solar Flare. As in goes Peanut. He's going to hop over to the other side, though, and Chovy gets away against 3.
And Chovy's just chilling, looking for the ult again.
Canyon's here. Zeka, no flash, no ult, stolen, and he's just a sitting duck. Nowhere for him to run, nowhere for him to hide, and Canyon picks up another one. Yeah, not sure about this one. Again, Zeka, I don't think he even finished the rod, which will be his first item, so they're going to throw an ult in onto Duro, but he is totally fine, and now we got a only half pale from the side of Canyon, as the stolen Nico ultimate doesn't do anything. Everybody on the side of HLE is just melting as they take a questionable fight, and Canyon knocks it down, as we wanted to see more from the man.
And Canyon's like, yeah, that's good.
Looking for the ult.
I don't think we're losing this.
Is he talking about the fight?
His opposing support, Delight continuing on this one. Zeus is nearby, level 11. They will be able to keep Duro down. As Duro thought, you know, well, we got total control up on the top side, but he's going to pay for it with his life. And Canyon gets in, gets the Rift Herald, and gets out. So, not the end of the world here for Gen G. They will get the objective.
Yeah, I need to get more.
Oh, just a nice bait from Peanut, I suppose. Or did he overstep? Is the question. Delight and Zeka here. They're going to go for the re-engage. We got Corki. Viper is on the way. They're going to pull back Canyon, who is in a lot of trouble here and will be given a shutdown. Viper, he gets ulted by the Cassandre, but he's totally fine for a while until Ruler makes his way to the back line. But that's a very squishy Kaisa, who goes straight into 2 melee members, and he gets punished immediately. Chovy, now he's got double buff, and he will be looking to follow up on this one. But HLE making this a very close fight from this far behind is pretty impressive, and they're going to shore up some of that goal deficit.
I mean, I think
there is so much money.
He doesn't have ult yet.
There's so much money in this Aurora. Now, who is going to collect the pinata is the only question. They're going on in. They're committing hard onto this kill for Chovy. It's taking quite a while, though, and they give the kill 1,000 gold over to Zeus. But the ensuing fight is not looking too good for the side of Hanwha. Zeka trying to get away, and a missed Nico ult. Looks like Zeka will just sacrifice. Nearly even takes out Ruler. And look at this in mid. Viper's getting a free turret.
Hanwha Life are certainly finding some angles in this game.
They're looking for more. Keen up here on the top side is a bit of a broken up play, as now Peanut is going to be isolated, and Zeus can't do much to help him. as now he's going to be bopped back and tries to hop away. Even Delight is desperately trying to save him, but he won't be able to. It's a double kill for Keen Sante, and Hama Life just threw it immediately back into Gen G's favor on a close fight in top lane.
Much healing off those, and they're feeling so confident now. They're starting off the Arakan.
Yeah, Peanut being zoned quite a bit. He is able to get into the pit, though. Going to be a bit of a flip here as it does go to Peanut. He gets into the 3-man. Oh, comes in from Zeka. They don't have that damage follow-up, though. And Keen is the target here for Alma Life. It's not a good one. As in goes Chovy now, taking a bunch from the front line as he will go down. But now look at Ruler. He's totally unleashed. Nobody can take him down. As Zeus Viper trying to go in, and they trade, actually. Will be enough, potentially, as Zeus gets a big shot. Picks up a kill, but he will be taken down at the very end. Hanwha, they keep making these fights so close, and they even got the Arakan.
Gen G got 5 kills, but considering they had such a gold lead, game for them.
I feel like this game should be unlosable.
Yes.
I think we're all just looking at it going, in terms of setting up the engage, he and Canyon already had one crazy wombo combo earlier. All right, Keen.
All right, nice. Big engage, though, on top of Viper. He's isolated in the backside, and Ruler just assassinates him. Very nice engage here from the side of Duro. That's more of what we expected from this guy, what we saw in the regular season, and now Delight has to flash away. HLE, they had an angle back in, and it's technically not over, but Gen G, a very nice fight here to try to secure their lead. Dive in the bottom lane, and since then hasn't really been able to do too much. They're trying to turn on the Canyon, though, as the stolen Impale comes through, and the real Impale does a lot more. Catches 3 in the front with a Nico at the same time, and I think the Wallet's just going to get the job done. Chovy comes on over, and Zeus, he's very fed relatively to his team, but it's not going to be enough. Peanut getting low as well, will be finished off. It's a clean ace for Gen G as finally they show some signs of life in this series.
And I think relief for Gen G fans everywhere, as this is the dominant showing we saw from this team all year long in terms of LCK, in terms of regular season matchups where they are undefeated, and peak Gen G form does show up here in Game 3. They will not go down without a fight. It is not going to be a 3-0. How much agency Canyon has. Chovy gets that huge lead in lane. 2 successful ganks for Canyon. The Aurora takes over the whole game, and can't be damned, Chovy just put his hand on his mouse and slammed it down and said, we are not going to get 3-0 tonight.
Down to the wire, and it's Cho'Gath.
Okay, Cho'Gath to the top lane.
I mean, you have the setup for it with the TF. There's a lot of CC set up for the Lee Sin. They are going to commit to it, so I feel like Gen G's composition, you have a lot of range to play around later on with the center and the TF. You have the setup to follow up, but you are dealing into, you have the split push threat off the Yorick later. You have this 4-man team fight composition, which is pretty strong. I am interested with the Cho'Gath into the mid. Is the theory you just eat the Maiden?
I guess so.
I guess.
Otherwise, I feel like the matchup doesn't feel great.
Just eat his wife,
It's kind of messed up. I don't know, Cho'Gath. We want to reconsider. At least as we're ready, let's hop onto the rift for game number 4.
I think the thought process of it is...
best of 3s.
I think the thought process of it is, and you win this game, you free up the ban for game 5.
Again?
Ooh. Again?
2 cleared wards.
What a dub.
Is so valuable. As it looks like Gen G are just going to get this one here initially. Peanut has no backup.
Yeah, he's playing with fire here a little bit. He's got to be careful. And he will, in fact, be careful. I don't think giving free kills over to Gen G, who want to get the ball rolling, is a good idea. Or he's just like clearing waves over and over.
Oh, Duro!
Duro's like, sit down, buddy. What are you doing this far up the lane? As Zeka says, well, there's nothing I can do. First blood is given over to Chovy.
And we'll see.
This is Duro's play. If he comes, I'm going to go for it. There he is.
The flash is good. And thing is, Zeka knows he's dead, so he actually tries to go into the tower. So it goes, he tries to give credit over from the ignite to the Alistair.
Well, that's the slow. Zeus in a bit of trouble here. He is going to dodge the Q, but there are 3 people in the top lane, and already Zeus is going to be punished here. And they're just going to give the kill and the stack over to
So that he safeguarded away before the execute damage came through. He's like, no, I'll let you have the gobble.
Very good idea. Gen G have a lot of momentum here in this early game. Canyon taking a bit of damage, but that Yone, not sure he can stick around for very long.
He needs his ultimate. It's just a few seconds away. then he could make a big impact, but the timing here is so good for Gen G.
TP gonna come through. They want to make an engage here on Naduro. He doesn't have his flash because he used it for the engage in the mid lane. And so they're just gonna try to give this kill over to Zeka. Nicely handed over.
And now Canyon?
Yeah, there's a lot of people joining up here for the side of Hanwha Life.
With his ultimate available, makes it so difficult to collapse in here. Ruler's at half health from the last exchange. He is Senna though, so he's able to heal up quite significantly.
No TP,
yeah, it's going to be a straight up 4v4 unless the Auric can get here. And the Maokai just going to zone with the ult as in goes. Oh, he stole it! He got in! He moves past the Maokai and says thank you very much. That'll be the second dragon over to Gen G. Now we got the ult, not going to hit anyone. And they just kick him away. Gen G say, we don't want to fight. We just want the Drake and we want to get out.
I mean, it was so
came down.
It's so clean to avoid the ult from Peanut, right? But Canyon actually just simply walks on Lee Sin and gets into the pit. Avoids it. Is that a really nice angle to have access to that pit? The kick here for the disengage.
Now let's see what he can do. We got the TP coming in. Chovy's coming in from the top side. Bit of damage already going in. There's a TP right in front of Gen G's face, and that's just going to be Zeus flashing away. As we got the Maokai ultimate trying to lock some people down and get this Jinx excited, but Gen G, they just form a wall. They say no thank you, but Peanut goes back in, and a ton of damage is done to the Maokai, but the Lulu barely keeps him alive, and that's a kill for the Yone. Finds another pick on a Chovy here, who's just on the run, and there's the engage with Peanut going back in with the Rift Herald, picks up another one, and Chovy not able to do much here on the right side of the fight. Looking good for the side of Hanwha Life. Looks like Hanwha Life really trying to close the gap and get in here, but it's just Zeka and the jungler still not anywhere close as Canyon just going to be able to easily smite this one, you would imagine. There's the damage, gets the soul point, and Hanwha Life, I mean, especially without a Maokai, you can't really force anything unless Zeka's going to find like the God engage, which obviously is going to be almost impossible if they just spread out.
Yeah, I think there's also something to be said that even though Gen G have elite, they are looking for Zeus.
Yeah, he's very isolated down here. No TP from Zeka to try to save him, so it's just a straight up 2v1, and Zeus doesn't really deal damage yet. So it's going to be a free kill given over to Canyon. Second kill for his Lee Sin.
I think this is the kind of best case scenario for Hanwha is Gen G botched how they tried to stop this, but Gen G can just play slow. They can play passively on this. Ruler has his ult. He's going to be able to sustain so much in this longer fight.
Yeah, they have so much control with their range. And now finally TP is going to come through for Zeka after he picks up his shield bow. And it's just going to be potentially a flip, but you've got a Cho'Gath that you're smiting against, and all these resistances are going down. Chovy going to take a big chunk here on the left side, has to cleanse out of that one, but Zeka also being chunked out as in goes Canyon, gets Lulu ulted in the sky, but look at Peanut, he can't get in there, he's going to try, but he is not going to succeed, and now he does get punished as the rest of Hanwha Life just has to run away, tail between their legs. As down goes the Peanut's Maokai, and it was just such a weird fight to go for that auto.
And look at the death timer. Peanut is up with 10 seconds until the soul spawns, so the timing's super tight. I think Gen G are in a great spot now.
Yeah, they're going to look for even more.
Viper getting chunked here. He's going to get zoned away from the turret as well. He gets taken out as, yes, Keen will go down as well, but the job is already done. Duro and Canyon behind them, and Zeka and Delight have nowhere to go, just being chunked out by Ruler and by Canyon. Gen G running the rift right now.
I mean, did die to the tower, I think.
Duro is also going to be potentially an extra donation, potentially. Yes.
Yeah, pretty rough. This is Mountain Soul. Hanwha Life have to do something. You don't want to give this one over for free. The Maiden taking a little bit of chip damage, and Gen G, they have Banana Brush control. You can see Hanwha Life trying desperately to push into this brush. They actually will be able to do so, and they have the Maokai to attempt to zone them away.
They got to get a kill for that Jinx.
Yeah, they're not really doing anything. They're just kind of sitting around. The Maiden's dead. No engage comes through, no Maokai ultimate available. Bit of damage comes out from the Jinx, and a nice ult here, but it's only hitting tanks on the side of Zeka. Duro is going to get quite low, but so is Zeka. Zeka's just out of this one. We do get a kill on a Duro, though. And now Viper has the damage, and Chovy just very zoned away, so I think Gen G might just have to give this one up, and that they will.
To prevent the reset was pretty insane, but it's definitely a big trade up here for Hanwha Life. They win the fight, they get the dragon. Canyon also likely caught.
Yes, flash and kick, but I don't know if he's actually going to get out here. Tries to taxi on a Peanut, but with a Lulu around, it's just Elementary as they give a ton of gold, actually 1,000 gold over to Zeus. Yeah, I'm not sure about this, but they do have a lot of damage on this Baron already. Jovi's got a nice angle on the left side. They just want to turn off of this, actually. Keen, very tanky, but not tanky enough. Duro not able to peel for him, and now Viper gets excited, and they just taxi them away from the objective. As does look like maybe Ruler gets out, and so will Duro, but yeah, I think for Gen G, that's fine. You know, you stop the Baron.
Or Hanwha Life Esports trying to fight to this with no eyes, and Zeka's just going to hold out.
Yeah, I mean, it's really rough. You don't really have an in, and you're just being picked apart. Peanut's going to flash, too, and this is just trying to get vision around the objective.
This is such a play from Gen G. This is how their composition wants to function.
Yeah.
Just poking and prodding and using the rapid fire procs, using that extended range.
I mean, Chovy,
not letting them approach.
On his tier 3 ultimate here, he's got it back up again in just a second. He could even flank here. There's just no way to move forward for Hanwha Life.
Yeah, you've got zoning from the Cho'Gath as well, and the consistent gold cards make it so difficult. Hanwha Life say we got to do something. They pull the trigger on Peanut's ult, but you're not doing anything. They just kind of throw an ult at them, and they don't find an angle because Gen G are playing so respectful.
That was their last chance. Chovy with the gold card here.
Ult comes in, flash through on Duro, and that's going to be the end of this Yone as he's going to unbound, but yeah, he's just gone.
And now Dragon in 20 seconds, that's sold for them if they want to pick it up. I feel like this is expert play from Gen G.
Making those resets for the Jinx even tougher.
Just fight before the next stun card is up.
Or just start the Baron and see how it goes.
Quite desperate.
Yeah, they get a big flank coming in from Chovy, who's going to be here on the left side and take a look. And in the massive kick behind everyone, and the Cho'Gath knocks up everyone as well on the backside. As Ruler's already dead, and they don't have the damage if they don't have Ruler. As that is going to be the end, or not Ruler, Viper. He's going to go down.
I think at anybody else, I think this game is just going to end. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it may already have 20 seconds left on Zeka. 12, they have a wave.
Yep, they have a Cho'Gath who is full health with the Senna behind him. And Duro just going to knock away Zeus. You don't have any chance of killing the minions when you're that far away. As this should be going to Silver Screeps, ladies and gentlemen, as Zeus trying his best, and they're just going to flash over and kill the Nexus. That gets it done. Gen G looking for the reverse sweep.
The one prediction that on the global side we said was illegal that you can't vote for is the Gen G 3-2 because Hanwha never loses game 5s, right? But now they have all the momentum on their side. Chovy pulls out this Twisted Fate. Keen has this counter pick to the Yorick, and Gen G looked like they were dead in the water, but now their ball is in their court.
We're lighting it up here in the Sajik Indoor Gymnasium. Game number 5 yet again for Gen G and Hanwha Life Esports. Only one can go to MSI. Light up your phones. It's game number 5 in the LCK.
That's big in their favor. Things like the fact that they let the...
What's going on here?
Looking real cool right there.
All right, the GM of Hanwha Life Esports has decided that they are going to win game 5.
I think they have a secret plan in mind.
Well, here we are, game number 5.
Interesting, because
once again, I think they need scaling damage, and I think this is the only pick left.
You know, pretty well. Like, if I'm going to pick something for Zeus to dumpster the matchup.
You saw him saying it there. He was saying Zoe, and we're going to get a Zoe in this game.
I feel like these two picks couldn't have been more opposite in what they do for this draft. The Aurelion Soul, a lot of zoning, a lot of big ultimate power around objectives, and just insane scaling damage. The execute value so good into the Xayah, but the Zoe is just pick and burst, and this makes Gen G's composition all in on the mid game, and if you fall behind, I feel like this comp does practically nothing.
It's game 5, guys. Let's hop onto the rift right now.
And I feel like they put him on an active pick to make that impact. And right now, Zeus having a great time into Keen, forcing Keen to recall. He will TP back in to catch this wave. He will actually stay. And Zeus is about a mega. This is risky.
This is very risky for me.
I mean, still tower ramp damage.
He's going to flash away, and Peanut's taking the turret damage.
So much vision and prio here for Hanwha Life. I mean, I think this might just be a shoe-in. Canyon does not have level 6.
Taking him on a poke, and now Chovy, the same, he's gonna get the sleep off, but he's not in a great spot here. Knows that Zeka's cooldowns are down for now, trying to bait him in, flashes at the very last moment, but you're not really giving your team any favors here as Canyon trying to fake go in with the clone. Might just be able to steal this one away, and yes, he will. as he even flashes out of here. So Gen G living for now as the bowling ball going to land asleep here on the top side against Zeka, as they're barely going to try to survive, but it doesn't look like Canyon is getting out of this one alive. Should be first blood over to Homolife Esports after Canyon steals the Dragon, and they will give that kill over to Viper.
When Canyon went in that pit, he knew he wasn't getting out.
He's going to get multiple plates here. They're just simply going to give this one up, although
maybe trying to get the one, but I think it's kind of a...
Canyon didn't smite.
Oh, yeah, and Peanut's smite isn't upgraded yet.
But this is a lead for Hanwha, you know? Gen G not accomplishing, I feel like, as much as they would have liked to. Sure, they got the early Dragon stacked up. It's not doomed by any means, but I think that on this next Dragon, they really need to make something happen.
All right, well...
Peanut's looking for something topside.
Yeah, let's see what he can do. Might be able to get the sleep in on a ruler, but the wave is already being cleared. Do they care about it as the Braum trying to zone them away, and that's going to be a kill on the Rakan already. Another flash comes out from Peanut, but at least Viper gets the kill, but not a very pretty dive at that. Zeka down a level here, just bullying Chovy in the mid lane. As now we've got Canyon, total darkness here on the right side. Zeka is moving away from him. Maybe if they hit some kind of sleep or damage, but too high on health is Zeka.
Zeka also. They have Cryo on the streak right now. Chovy coming over.
Yeah, TP. Keen could be in a precarious spot.
Gonna throw in the sleep actually, and that time Duro is able to keep Ruler safe, but not for long as the Tarn comes in. But now the counter engage and Viper just dies. He was 1 second away from his ult, didn't have it in the fight, and now the damage is coming through here for Gen G as Chovy nearly gonna miss Zeus there, but he's still on the chase, and this is what the Zoe does. Trying to follow up and get even more. We're zooming in on him. He's got the Paddle Star looking for it. But he's not going to be able to hit it as barely Homolife Esports just limp away from this fight.
So much harder for like a Xayah to function when they're always just on cooldown.
I like this from Keen, trying to bait him into the fight, trying to give him a false sense of security here on the Mega Gnar, trying to avoid the Gnar into the wall. Is Canyon doing a ton of damage here already as now the Gnar comes out, but might be too little too late as, well, Canyon's going to get the kill, but it is traded back. This does give Keen the free wave in top, but
as a turret as well.
They are pushing back
anyway. Yeah. Sure, some assist goal goes over as Chovy.
Yeah, I think, you know, this is what I was talking about on the counter push as Zoe. It's so hard. You can be in so much trouble if you get over aggressive, and now they're looking for more. Duro just barely, okay, he's gonna get charmed up, and I think they've got the damage here with the Jace, and there you go, very nice juggling of the aggro as here comes Ruler. He doesn't have flash and he's alone, and now they're just gonna start up here on this Rift Herald. Chovy's up top. I mean, it's just going down too fast. There's no real way for Gen G to get in.
Homolife gonna use this Herald instead rather than committing to the turret itself to grab Dragon. This might be Gen G's last real even team fight they get. Canyon has flash and ult. I think he has to be a hero here if they're going to commit.
Yep. Mega Gnar coming through. And it's a straight up 5v5. There's the Mega Gnar. And Keen looking for the flank. And it's just going to go to a flip. It goes to Canyon. But let's take a look at this fight. As Canyon taking a bunch of damage. But Pino went way too deep. Not able to quite get the sleep off. As now Keen taxing Zeus out of this fight. Homolife in a bunch of trouble as now they have nowhere to go. The sleep comes down on a Viper, and the chase potential of this comp shines. They take out the Xayah. It's now Canyon looking for a bit more. Keen as well here with Duro. And they might just be able to do it. Zeka trying to play bodyguard, but he might be punished himself. Has to flash out, and Gen G finally find the angle. Every champ loves it on the side of Gen G. And now we got Viper just trying to do a red buff, and he's going to be punished, and Zeus comes in here. Homolife falling apart, and Gen G playing guerrilla warfare. And Homolife don't quite have the answer. That's a free kill on a Viper who's really struggling into this comp.
They have to really be aware of Peanut, though. A big sleep could be a game changer, as it's a poke war.
Yeah, the poke war is beginning. HLE do have position on this objective. And Duro getting pretty low himself. Zeus gets over the wall, but that's not Mega Gnar as they turn immediately on Zeus. He's getting burst down, but down will go Canyon immediately, and the smite goes to HLE as it's a broken up fight here for Gen G. Two people go into the back line, and one of them immediately gets burst down. Just going way too deep to try to catch people out. Chovy looking for the follow-up picks. Maybe he's able to catch Zeus here, but nope, Zeus is going to walk out. And the Braum not able to catch him either. He is going to try to flash, though, and in goes Ruler, and finally does take him down. Gen G at least get the Gnar on the back of that.
Well, it's going to be an Otacon attempt here for Gen G. No vision for Hanwha, but they're rushing over.
Duro has TP, so he's going to TP over, and it's just going to come down to this. The sleep not going to hit anyone. And teams all day have been throwing on the Otacon. Is it going to happen again? As they zone Zeus away. He doesn't have the Mega just yet. He really wants it, but the reset comes through on the Otacon. And Delight has to hop away. We're going to reset ourselves in the fight.
Here we go again. And Zeka's got another Shock Blast at the ready. He hits with it. It's just going to be Canyon.
Yeah, Canyon not the best target to hit with that one. But better than nothing, I suppose, and it's just going to come down to this one. Goes over to the Wukong, and Delight goes in, but nobody follows up as the Braum gets the disengage through. Peanut getting no value on this Lilia. They're just trying to abandon ship, but Gen.G have other ideas. They catch up to the Gnar, and that'll be the first pick on top of the Otacon that they just got, and they're looking for more. Delight looks like he will be able to hop away, but now Gen.G have their sights set on this Baron. Oh, even going to look for Delight here. Canyon going in, I feel like maybe just turn on the objective.
Yeah, that costs him a lot of time, and it's a flash down for the Wukong now, but and he's going to need some time here. Jace Poke needs to keep landing.
I mean, this might just turn into a flip. Chovy's going to go in and do a bunch of damage, and now the culling comes through. Viper is just kind of out of the fight. Even the Ignite from the Zoe is enough. It goes over to Peanut, but now the fight comes through, and Peanut barely survives.
He still has his ult.
Keen once more. Kind of corralling them here. The engage from the Aatrox, not the best, but it's going to keep them around. And now Ruler gets an opportunity to get in, and that'll be the end of Zeka as he gives his life, but so does Viper. And now, one by one, they are falling. And Gen.G pick up 3. They lose the Drake, but they take a massive fight.
And Peanut, I don't think an ult is going to change anything here. If he goes for it, it will be.
Oh, Delight's TPing, actually.
Yeah, we got TP coming through, but that's a sleep immediately
Zeka
onto him. Peanut
TP.
Peanut doesn't have his flash. He can't get in. It's Barrett over to Gen.G as we assumed. But now a second TP comes in and a second sleep from the Zoe. And you're not really finding very much value. They need to get something Hummel Life here. But we're going over the wall. And even Jovi's looking for more. Just taxing them out with some extra damage.
You can see them running at Duro and Ruler.
And you see that Gen.G, all they got to do is respect. As in goes the Mega Gnar, Zeus gets interrupted, and the damage comes through. The engage is not snap, and it doesn't do much of anything. The sleep only hits the Wukong, and maybe they get it as a consolation prize. Canyon goes in, keeps them around.
They're so split here. Zeus is incredibly low. Viper the target.
Okay, they're going in onto a Xayah with Cleanse. Not sure about this target, Gen.G, and take a look at Ruler.
He's just ending the game.
He's just running at the base. Nobody's able to stop this from happening. And Ruler might just get it done. He's got Chovy over here, and Ruler just able to turn and take the fight. He is so fed. And there's nothing that Mini Gnar can do about it. There's nothing that Peanut can do about it. As Gen.G more than 10,000 gold ahead, they take down the turrets. But the health bars are pretty low.
Ekka's back, and I think they're really judging this very carefully.
Ruler's healing up.
They got the BT, and yeah, the Mega Gnar is just going to be zoned away. The Sonya's picked up by Chovy. Ruler trying to tip away at the Nexus, might just be able to do it right here, right now, and it looks like they have done it. Delight can't get it done, and with a smile on his face, Gen.G, Chovy will be your first seed, moving on to MSI tonight.
Gen.G will complete the reverse sweep. 3 times in a row they went to game 5 against HLE and they were denied, but this time they go 2-0 down and they're able to claw back and take that ticket. They will be representing.
And it finally all comes together in game 5.
The momentum you have in a game 5 as the sweeper is insane, and I feel like they carried it from start to finish